His son won't come to the wedding. Let that sink in. Hugh Jackman, Wolverine, one of the most loved men on the planet, proposed to his girlfriend, and his own child said no. But to understand why that's so devastating, you need to understand what this family actually went through. Because this isn't just a celebrity divorce story. This is a story about a woman who gave a man everything. Her youth, her career, her body, her absolute loyalty. For 27 years. And the moment she stopped being useful to his story, he found someone younger at work. Classic. Let's set the scene. Australia. Deborraleefurness is already that girl. Established actress, known name, a career she built herself, from scratch, before Hugh Jackman was even a thought. And then this 26-year-old walks onto her set, fresh out of drama school, broke, unknown, hungry. She's playing a psychologist, he's playing a criminal, and I just need you to sit with that irony for a moment because, wow, the chemistry is immediate. Everyone on set sees it, but Deborra Lee hesitates. She's 39, he's 26, 13 years between them. People pull her aside, they warn her. He's too young, he's too ambitious, he wants fame more than he wants love. She looks them dead in the eye and marries them anyway. April 1996. Small ceremony, Melbourne. She's 40, he's 27, and she is all in. Now, here's where my heart breaks a little, because Deborra Lee wanted children, desperately, and her body kept saying no. IVF treatments, failed cycles, 2 miscarriages. 2. Hugh talked about it publicly, said each one destroyed something inside her. Each loss took a piece of her she never fully recovered. Can you even imagine? Loving someone that much, wanting to build a family that badly, and losing it twice. But she doesn't give up, because that's who deborraleefurness is. She and Hugh decide to adopt. May 2000, a baby boy, California. They name him Oscar Maximilian Jackman. And here's the detail that absolutely gets me. When Deborra Lee discovers that Oscar has Croatian heritage, she goes out and buys a Croatian cookbook, not for herself, for him, so a 7-year-old boy could feel connected to where he came from. And Oscar carries that cookbook around everywhere, like it's the most precious thing he owns. That little boy grew up to be the man who now refuses to attend his father's wedding. And honestly, you can draw a straight line between those two moments. 5 years later, they adopt a daughter, Ava, and for 2 full decades, this family looks perfect. Hugh is everywhere, talking about Deborra Lee like she's the air he breathes. She's the greatest thing that ever happened to me. Everything good in my life traces back to her. He cries talking about her in interviews. Cries. He said all of that in 2017, and 3 years later, he was allegedly falling for his co-star. Okay, let's talk about The Music Man. Broadway revival. Hugh Jackman gets cast as the lead. His co-star, Sutton Foster, 2-time Tony winner, talented, married to someone else at the time, but then the pandemic hits. The show gets delayed, and Hugh and Sutton spend months together. Workshops, closed rehearsals, out-of-town tryouts. Just the two of them, over and over again. Meanwhile, Deborra Lee is at home, cooking his food, supporting his career, trusting her husband of 25 years. Because why wouldn't she? He tells the world she's his everything. She has no reason to doubt him. But here's what was reportedly happening behind the scenes. According to a bombshell U.S. Weekly report from November 2024, sources allege that people on Broadway knew something was developing between Hugh and Sutton, and they kept quiet. The reason given? Because they're both so nice. So nice. So nice while Deborra Lee is at home being the perfect wife. Allegedly, half of Broadway is keeping a secret from her. I'm sorry, but that detail makes my blood boil a little. September 2023, the announcement drops. Hugh Jackman and deborraleefurness are separating. The announcement is smooth, polished, PR perfect. Our journey is shifting. Individual growth. We'll always prioritize our family. It reads like something a very expensive lawyer wrote at 2 a.m. And then, Hugh and Sutton start showing up everywhere together. Events, dinners, red carpets, smiling, glowing, unbothered, while Deborah Lee watches from the other side of a 27-year marriage. October 2025, Deborah Lee releases a statement. She doesn't say Hugh's name once, doesn't have to. She writes, "My heart goes out to everyone who has traversed the traumatic journey of betrayal. It is a profound wound that cuts deep." Betrayal. She chose that word deliberately. That woman sat down, looked at every possible word she could use, and chose betrayal. If that's not a message, I don't know what is. One source described watching Hugh and Sutton's public appearances as a real kick in the teeth for Deborah Lee. A kick in the teeth after 27 years of marriage, after IVF, after miscarriages, after building his whole career beside him. A kick in the teeth. But wait, because here's where this story takes a turn nobody saw coming. Deborah Lee isn't suffering alone. Her children, they chose her. According to multiple entertainment sources, Oscar and Ava Jackman have made their position crystal clear. They are fiercely protective of their mother. They do not support their father's relationship with Sutton Foster, and reportedly, they will not be attending any wedding. Now, let me tell you why Oscar specifically choosing his mother is such a massive deal. This young man is 25 years old. He has been photographed in public maybe a handful of times his entire life. No interviews, no red carpets, no Instagram drama, no publicist. He's a ghost in a family of global celebrities. But in 2018, Oscar breaks his silence just once. He posts on Instagram about finally meeting his biological sisters. "I finally got to meet my biological family." That one post tells you exactly who Oscar Jackman is. Someone who values real connection. Someone who understands that family isn't just blood, it's who shows up. And right now, he's showing up for his mother, not his father. And now, here's the part that reportedly has Hugh Jackman losing sleep. According to sources from early 2026, Hugh allegedly proposed to Sutton Foster during a romantic New Year's trip to Costa Rica. He's ready to get married. He wants to move forward. Except his kids won't give him their blessing. Oscar and Ava reportedly will not attend the wedding, and Hugh apparently refuses to walk down that aisle without his children present. So now we have this surreal image. Wolverine, the greatest showman, the man who made the whole world believe he was the perfect husband and father, cannot get remarried because his own son blocked it, silently, publicly, completely. And Deborah Lee isn't sitting in a dark room crying, not even close. She's reportedly writing a memoir. Publishers are already circling like they smell blood in the water, and she has 27 years of material. Emails, memories, the full, unedited timeline. Some sources speculate Oscar may even have a role in what she shares. Hugh Jackman spent decades building a brand, the devoted husband, the emotional guy who cried talking about his wife, the Wolverine with a heart of gold. And people are now quietly asking how much of that was performance. Because here's the unfiltered truth of what actually happened. Deborah Lee sacrificed the prime years of her career for his. She survived IVF. She survived miscarriages. She adopted 2 children and loved them harder than most biological parents love their own children. She stood beside him through every single role, every award, every red carpet moment. And when Hugh decided he wanted something new, she found out the same way you and I did, through tabloid headlines, after 27 years. And Oscar watched every second of it. He watched his mother hold herself together in public. He saw the photos of his father with another woman. He read the same headlines we all did. And then this intensely private, fiercely quiet young man made a choice. He chose the woman who once bought a Croatian cookbook just so a 7-year-old boy could feel like he belonged somewhere. Oscar has said nothing publicly. 0 statements, 0 posts, 0 interviews. But actions in Hollywood, actions are everything, and his action is standing beside his mother while his father plans a wedding she was never meant to be a part of. That is not silence. That is a verdict. Here's what Hugh Jackman is learning right now, the hard way. You can win every award. You can charm every interviewer. You can smile on every red carpet with your new girlfriend, but you cannot undo what your children witnessed. They remember who stayed, they remember who left, and they remember why. Deborraleefurness is 70 years old, and she is just getting started. She's rebuilding, she's writing, she's living, and she has something Hugh's new relationship will never be able to buy: the unconditional loyalty of the children she fought like hell to bring home. Some people spend their whole lives performing love, and some people just live it.